It's a bright sunny day at our poultry farm today, as you guys can see, and we have been experiencing this sunlight for over 3 weeks now. And speakingly, living in sunny days or in dry seasons is really hard, but currently we are not yet in the dry seasons. I was thinking that how do these people living in deserts like the Sahara Desert really stay? Because for only 3 weeks I find life now being very hard. Anyway, that's how the world is made. I think those people who are living in the deserts are now used to that kind of life. You must adopt to any kind of situation which comes across, but it's really hard. Anyway, that's with the weather. Well, I must also use this time and then opportunity to thank you all for supporting my channel. All of you who have been coming and watch my videos, liking the videos, commenting, sharing my videos. I'm really grateful, and I thank you for that. Each time you come and watch my videos, I really feel happy. And more so on that, it also motivates me that what I'm doing is also good. What I'm doing is right. And that also gives me the strength to make more videos. And to those who have subscribed to my channel, I'm really happy for you. You have really done a great job to me. And for those who have not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel so that you can be one of the family members in this awesome channel. Let us try to go for 1,000 subscribers this month. So guys, you subscribe to the channel. I'm waiting for you to subscribe. Alright, thanks for doing that. For some of you who are still looking at this face as a new face to you, my name is Jacob, a passionate farmer about poultry keeping. On this channel, we talk about poultry farming in general. We talk about the layers, the broilers, the local chicken, the broilers, the guinea fowl, the ducks. In fact, any kind of poultry, you will find it on this channel. And if you have been one of the people that have been looking for channels that can teach you on how you can run a poultry farm successfully, then you're very lucky because you're in the right area. Kindly subscribe to the channel, and if you find the content in this video being beneficial to you, then do me a favor, like the video, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you'll never miss out in case I upload any new video. By liking my video, YouTube will recommend this video to very many other more people. That way it will also help them in growing their farms. And if you have a relative or a friend who also likes this poultry thing, then you can also share this video to him or her so that he or she can also watch these educational videos about poultry keeping. And lastly, if you have any question, of course, about poultry farming, you're free to ask any question in the comment section. I'm willing to answer at any time. And if I find that there is a question which is frequently asked, then I'll probably make a video on that question. That way it will answer all of the things that you will need to know about something. In today's video, we will be talking about the ways that we should take in order to prevent thieves, snakes, and rats from accessing into our poultry farms. So guys, you stick around. Let's start with the snakes. Snakes are very dangerous creatures when it comes to poultry birds. Not only birds, but also human beings. Everybody or anybody fears snakes. If you don't fear a snake, then I don't know how I should call you, but every person fears a snake because it's a dangerous animal. I have seen some people in some parts of the world whereby they are free with snakes. They can carry a snake, play with it, do all those stuffs, but in Africa, no way. No way, we cannot do such things. We cannot put these jokes on snakes because we really fear them, and of course they are dangerous. If you give them a chance, they can hurt you, and sometimes they can kill you. For us right here in the village, what comes into our minds when we see a snake is looking for a stick and then killing it. And if the snake is big, then you run away. But when it comes to poultry birds, these snakes, they only like to kill these younger birds, these younger chicks. I don't know why. But if it's a big snake, then it can only blow. I really don't know how they call it, but it blows the air, then it can kill the birds. Like I told you earlier, in today's video, we will be bringing down the problem that is always caused by the snakes on our poultry farms. Number one is how we build our poultry houses or our poultry structures. Make sure that there is no opening in your poultry structure. I know there are some openings for aeration, but make these openings in such a way that there is no any snake that can enter inside. Let me first take you to my poultry farm so that I can show you physically. Right over here we have some chicks which are eating the grass outside. I think you guys can see plus some hens over there. They are eating the grass, and most of the hens are inside the poultry structure. Let's first go and then look at our poultry structure, how it is made. So here we are. This section right over here, which is covered with a tent, is actually where all the brooding takes place. The birds need enough warmth, and that's why we have put this tent in order to prevent rainfall that will come in splashes form from entering inside our poultry house or inside our brooder section. So this is why we have put this tent. And right over here, I think you guys can see, this is our wire mesh, which is actually put for aeration. This is to actually allow fresh air go in, and the diluted air from inside, can come out. So my point which I was saying is that much as you should not allow any openings on your poultry farm, you must make sure that the wire meshes that you put, a snake cannot go through it. Like you can see, let me try to bring it inside. I have right here is a bigger wire mesh. This one over here, this is a bigger wire mesh, and right inside here is a smaller wire mesh. And this smaller wire mesh, I don't think any snake can enter through this wire mesh because it is too small and it cannot allow any snake from entering inside. That's on the point of openings on your poultry house. And second, from down here, down where these iron sheets has ended, I have seen some farmers, they put the iron sheet, and I am one of the farmers, and it was actually a mistake. We actually didn't have enough information on how we should build our house, but as we have now figured out that what we have done is actually a mistake, I need to now explain it to you so that by the time you want to build your poultry house, you will not repeat the same mistakes that I have been making in making my poultry house. Right here, make sure that this iron sheet enters deep inside the ground. Let me say by 10 inches down inside the ground. That will help so much from preventing things from entering inside your poultry house. So that is with the space which is actually put in order to prevent snakes from entering inside your poultry house. So guys, before building your poultry house, make sure that you do a thorough research on how you should construct your poultry farm or poultry house perfectly. And I know as a beginner, you may not have enough money to build a perfect poultry house. That is also the way I was. I didn't have enough money for me to build a perfect poultry house. That's why I ended up building this type of poultry house. But this poultry house, much as it is cheap and locally made, it has all the essentials for a good poultry house. And with poultry houses, we are not about how fancy or how good our poultry house looks like. If the poultry house that we have constructed can accommodate the birds properly, can give enough space for the birds, or it has a proper aeration for the air to move in and out, then that's all what we want. But we are not about the Gucci's or how fancy our poultry house looks like. In fact, I have made a video on how I have constructed this poultry house with cheap and locally available materials. You can go and watch the video on my playlist so that it can also help you to build such poultry houses or such poultry house at your poultry farm. The second way of preventing snakes from entering into our poultry farms is by making our farm premises very clean, or the farm compound very clean. As you can see mine over here, the area is well slashed to the ground, and this will also give fear to the snakes to come inside my poultry farm. If your area or your compound is very bushy, then that way it can also bring snakes to invade your birds or to hurt your birds. Number three is by always renovating your poultry house. I know it sounds very different to some of you out there, but yeah, you must renovate your poultry farm often. Most farmers, after building their poultry houses, they don't bother to go and check whether the poultry house is fine or not. Like my poultry farm over here, when I was making it, I didn't have things like this over here. These openings from down over here. This was caused by running water, and the maram was washed away. That way it created gap in between the iron sheet and then the ground. So guys, when you have now constructed your poultry house, when I was constructing it, there were no openings like this one over here and right over here. So these openings were caused by running water, and they washed away the maram which I had put at the bottom of the iron sheets. Right over here, it shows that if I don't find a way of closing it, it may be an access to snakes of entering inside my poultry house, and they can harm my birds or sometimes even kill them. And on top of that, I know most of you out there want to start poultry farms. So when you want to construct your poultry house, first let's begin with the wall. It is this one right over here. I used iron sheets as the wall of my structure. And we not only use iron sheets, but sometimes some people may also use bricks. But in terms of expenditure, iron sheets are way more cheaper than the bricks. The only mistake that I made is that my iron sheets did not enter deep in the ground. So this should be like a learning area to you guys. When you want to start your poultry farm, when you are now to construct your poultry structure, if you want to use, let me say, the iron sheets, make sure that the iron sheets go deep in the ground so that you will not encounter the mistakes that I've made on my poultry farm right over here, like these holes over here. And if you suggest to be using the bricks, it's also fine, but in terms of cost effective, it is way more expensive than the iron sheets. But all, they work the same purpose. They are all efficient in terms of being a wall of your poultry house. The second thing is the floor of your structure. Yeah, the floor right over here, which you are seeing down here. Make sure that you cement your floor with stones and then cement all over your poultry structure. This is more especially to poultry farmers who want to do layers and then the broilers. The only reason I did not cement my floor is that I am currently doing local chicken. These birds are local chicken and they are used to this kind of life, and more so on that, I am keeping them on a free range system. If you are out there and you want to start keeping local chicken, or you're a farmer who is now doing local chicken, there is no need of you cementing your floor. The only advice that I can give you is that if you have enough money and you are doing local chicken, you can put it round from outside under the bricks or under the iron sheets. That way it can help in preventing the snakes and then rats from entering inside your poultry structure. But inside right over here, there is no need of you putting. The reason why I say that there is no need of you putting concrete on your poultry structure when you are doing local chicken is that these birds, they don't sleep on the ground. That's why if you are to see my poultry structure, it is filled with patches, resting patches. You can see them right over here. And there are very many, by the way, and one hen right over there is resting on the patch. This is why we have built these patches over here. These birds don't like staying on the ground. They don't sleep on the ground. They sleep over the patches throughout the night. And at the daytime, they're outside. So there is no need of putting concrete inside your poultry structure. I have some birds right over here which are still 1 month, but surprisingly, you will find them all on the perches at night. You won't find any bird on the ground. So this is not something very common with the layers and then the broilers, because these birds, they prefer sleeping on the ground, and if you may have some patches inside your poultry house, then they may be very few and they are only for exercise, and most of the birds don't like it. So guys, we are done with the snakes. Let's now shift to the rats. And after the rats, we'll go to the thieves. There are some things that we have talked in preventing snakes from entering into our poultry houses, which can also be applied in preventing rats from entering into our poultry houses as well. Things like cementing the floor, which I will now not give any much details on them. I'll give you an example. A week ago, I came on my poultry house and I opened it. I found two chicks dead. One, I found out that its head has been eaten plus its neck. And then the second bird, only the head was eaten. And I was wondering what could have killed my birds. Is it a snake? Is it a rat? What is it? I was very confused and I was very anxious to know exactly what have killed my birds. So I started tracing, and luckily enough, we found a hole, a hidden hole inside our brooder house, which is right over there. We found out that it was a rat that killed these chicks. And when I found out that it was a rat, I tried all my level best to find this rat out. And luckily, we found it out. It was a different rat. In fact, it had a long nose and its body really smelled very, very bad. It's actually very irritating. I know each rat has got its only type of name, but this particular rat, I really don't know the name. Maybe you know the name of this rat. You can leave it in the comment section so that I can also know the name of this rat. Immediately, I covered the hole, and as a backup, I made something that I want to show you right now. So guys, I managed to make this thing right over here. I think you guys can see it. And with this thing over here, this is where our chicks will be staying until they are ready to sleep on the patches, like 1.5 months. So let us try to open so that you can see how the inside is made. So this is how I actually made it, and I made it personally myself with motorcycle tires, wire meshes, plus some timbers. And it's a nice cage, by the way. I can call it a cage, and it is very good. We are planning to make more 4 like this on this poultry farm. So let's try to close it. Yeah. So this is our cage, and this right over here can accommodate, like, let me say 100 chicks perfectly. So within a month or 2, we are planning to make another more 2 like this one on our poultry farm. Right now, there is no chick inside, but within some 5 to 8 days, we are expecting some chicks from a hen which is currently brooding. So it will be filled in here, and they will stay perfectly, and we will have 0 death on our poultry farm. I think you guys can see with this wire mesh, I don't think any rat or even a snake can enter inside here. And it is like now a double security. One, we have the poultry house, which if a rat wants to come in, it must first pass the poultry house, and then second, it can now come and then again pass this cage over here, which will be very difficult. And that way it will put our chicks in a safe position. So that's with the cage that I wanted to show you. The next way of preventing rats from entering into your poultry house is by using rat traps. Actually, we have very many types of rat traps used in trapping rats. So you can get one from the market and then use it at your poultry farm. With the rat traps, you can set them immediately when your birds get inside the house. That is when you are on a free range system. You can now set it in the evening, and then in the morning, right in the morning, before you opening your birds outside, you unset these rat traps and then keep them in a safe place. And then in the evening again, you set them. That will help so much. But if you leave them like that, or if you forget, then the rat traps will change to a chicken trap and you will catch your chickens yourself. Don't first wait for the rats to hurt or kill your chicks so that you can start now looking for a way of killing these rats. Remember, prevention is better than cure. Number 3, which is still on the rats, is by using cats on your farm. In fact, cats are very useful on a poultry farm, and every poultry farm should have a cat inside it. Not only to prevent or not only to catch the rats, but it also helps even in snakes. We have seen very many cats killing a snake. So with a cat on your poultry farm, you will be fighting very many things with that same cat. So you must have one if you don't have a cat on your poultry farm. That will help you so much in preventing very many things that will come to attack your birds. Before we move to the last point in today's video, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel so that you can be one of the family members in this awesome YouTube channel. And if you find the content that I'm sending to you right now is being beneficial to you, do me a favor as well, like the video. I'll be very grateful for that. And if you have any question about poultry farming, don't hesitate. Drop it in the comment section right here. I am willing to answer at any time. Lastly, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you'll never miss out in case I upload a new video. Thanks for doing that. Remember, we talked about the snakes, we talked about the rats, and lastly, we are on the thieves, which are human beings. How can we prevent thieves from coming into our poultry farms? This is the most and very important point that you should note. Fellow farmers and those who wish to join the poultry business, this point right over here is very, very useful, and if not looked at very well, it can lead to a downfall of a poultry farm. And very many poultry farms have gone down because of this point, the thieves. So guys, get tuned. I know some people out there want to start poultry farms, but based on the place that they are living in, maybe there are very many thieves that is preventing them from starting this poultry farm. But otherwise, they would have started this poultry farm long ago. So guys, I am going to give you 5 best ways of preventing thieves from attacking your farm. So guys, you stick around. Number 1 is by fencing your poultry farm. Fencing your poultry farm should be the first priority before you setting up your poultry structure. Besides preventing thieves from coming inside your poultry farm, fences also help in various ways. Like for instance, 1, it prevents diseases that are coming from inside into your poultry farm. 2nd, it prevents things like unnecessary coming in and out from human beings inside your poultry farm. Just to mention a few. In fact, I have made a video on why you should have a fence on your poultry farm. You can go and watch the video on my playlist. That will help you so much before you putting up your fence. We have very many fences in the market. We have the chain link, we have the barbed wire. In fact, there are very many. But when it comes to poultry keeping, and as a beginner, I know you may not be having enough money, just like I was. So I managed to construct my fence with locally available materials, and they were very cheap. And my fence right over here is actually perfect than, let me say, the chain linked or the barbed wire, or let me say the ones which are on the market. Let me try to take you through my fence and you see how beautiful and helpful my fence is. So guys, this is my fence right over here. Let me try to get close so that you can see. So these are bamboos, as you guys can see. These are bamboos, and right over here I have a pole, and The next material that I used is maybe the nails that we used to attach the bamboo on the poles. And the fence moves right entirely throughout my poultry farm. I think you guys can see. And it is very long and very perfect. So this is my poultry fence and it works perfectly. And ever since I have built it, I have not found any kind of invaders or any kind of person coming from outside entering into my poultry farm. Number two is by installing light on your poultry structure. As you guys can see mine over here, we have one light over here and another one. Let me try to show you. Another one is right over here. This is the second light, and then the third light is right over there. So we have 4 lights in this structure. The fence, the light, they will scare the thief, and he will not even attempt of coming to attack our birds or steal our birds. So guys, you must have a light that will light throughout the night on your poultry farm. Number 3 is by putting CCTV cameras on your poultry farm. This is a little bit more expensive, and this one I don't have it on my farm because I still don't have enough money to get those things inside my poultry farm. And second, my farm is still small. But if you have now a big farm, like for 1,000 birds, 2,000 birds, I recommend that you must install a CCTV camera on your poultry structure. It not only prevents the thieves, but also it helps so much in monitoring how your farm is running. Like when you say that you want to minimize the contact of human being with the birds, you can install a CCTV camera. And when your workers oftenly go inside the poultry structure, you can notice from the CCTV camera. And currently, we are advancing in the technology. The technology is changing day in, day out. So guys, let's try even to change with the technology that is changing. Let's not try to be very backward. Let's try to change. That one will help us so much. And most on that, this technology help us to improve on what we have been using before so that it can move efficiently. So let's try to change. My point is that if you have enough money, then you can install such things on your poultry farm. That will help you so much. For instance, let me say that you have a CCTV camera on your poultry farm and thieves try to steal your birds, and then you trace them and then track them down. The moment you release this footage and then expose them, sincerely speaking, your farm will never and ever have such troubles again, because they will now be in fear that if I go there, they'll track me down and then they'll find me. So if you have that enough money, you can install such things on your poultry farm. Number 4, still on preventing thieves from entering into our farms is by hiring a watchman. Yeah, someone who will look at your farm at night time or even at daytimes. This will also help so much in preventing theft on your farm, much as it moves with things like expenses in paying the watchman monthly. But if the farm is big, then it is worth the things that that person or that watchman is looking at. But if your farm is still small, like mine over here, me over here, I cannot hire a watchman. My farm is still very small to hire a watchman. My birds are still small, the farm is small, all things are small, so I cannot hire a watchman currently, maybe in future. Number 5 is by keeping dogs on your farm. There are some dogs that are very wise depending on how you have taught them. Let me say that you bring a dog which is specifically to help you at night, let it out at night time so that the moment it sees any person, it can bark, and that will act as an alarm for you so that you can come and then rescue what is happening on your poultry farm. So guys, that's all that I had for you today. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you'll never miss out in case I upload any new video. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.